From the Lone Star States and the Bluegrass State, this is Your Two Dads.
Your Two Dads.
Two real dads giving you the real news.
The real news. Like the RNC candidates are 50% thinner now as Christie drops out of the race. Oh, that's the wrong button. Good morning, everybody.
I gotta put my hoodie on so I can be mysterious like JJ's.
Oh yeah, I left my beanie downstairs. The hoodie, the dark hoodie, doesn't work so good whenever you got
not when it's
puffy jacket. It's not so intimidating. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is Rumble Duck. My wife is helping with the sparkle beanie. Also, not so intimidating.
That's better than the black "I'm going to rob a bank" beanie that you were
better. All right. Good morning, everybody. This is rumble.com/JJW. I am JJW. That is Deacon. And every morning we meet at 8 o'clock in the morning and we drink coffee, we talk news and bullshit.
We both have Star Wars mugs today, and I have Star Wars Star Wars news. I've got a Star Wars news for you.
Would it be movie news?
Movies
news? Well, that'll be fun to talk about. And how great faith we have in the producers of said movies.
Well, this is actually maybe a restoring a little faith, a little
maybe.
We'll see. Well,
we'll talk about it because I heard a little bit about it, but we'll talk about it. We got some. We're going to talk about a little bit about the RNC debate last night. I guess I'm going to talk about Vivek Ramaswamy. I think I'm getting on the Ramaswamy train, even though I'm a little dubious about the pharma stuff. That dude is against the squid monster, and if you're against the squid monster, I'm on your team. That's where I'm at right now.
Hey man, the devil has a silver tongue, doesn't he?
The most and a camcorder,
the most beautiful of the angels, the most beautiful.
You think so?
The most charming, the most beautiful.
So you're supposed to ignore the one that is obviously calling out the squid monster and pick one of the turds. There's a turd, or
I'm just saying if I was the bad guy and I was wanting to try to convince all of my other people to listen to me, I would probably try to say something to get on their side. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Mean, you like Vivek. I think he's a silver-tongued devil. I think that he says I think the people that he surrounded him with are freaking geniuses when what they have him to do and say. And we'll talk about this coming up because I when I saw that little commercial thing, this is what I thought. I was like, oh man, this is.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, why is that already up here? That's not the song today.
That's not the song of the day.
There's the song today. The song of the day. This week we're doing Hollerhead. It is a local band. Some friends that I know are in the band. Hollerhead.net. Check them out. The song today is Captain. I think you'll like this one. I wanted to. I've got this page. I've got their page already up so that I can share it here. That's my buddy Jeremy. He's the singer-songwriter with the John Prine shirt on there. And hang on. Let me back to,
did he say we could play some of it?
I haven't asked him. I need to ask him.
Oh.
And that's Jeremy too. That's the dude with the dreadlocks over here is the drummer, Jeremy. His name is Shelbourne. He would drummed with my brother. He's a little younger with me, but he is a very intelligent, very cool dude. And you can look here. Where was it at? It's down here. I was looking at their dates and I was like, wow, look, they're playing in Tupelo, Mississippi. They're playing here in my hometown in Benton, Kentucky at this place called the Damn Brew House. And then look, Marion, Illinois, Memphis, Tennessee. They're over in Riverton, Illinois. So they're playing around some places.
That's cool. They got a little tour happening.
Yeah, they go out and they play just other places other than our local area. So they may be close somewhere.
Kind of regional. Yeah, kind of like a little bit of a regional thing.
Quad state area. We're in kind of a quad state area right here. So yeah, cool. Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee. And we got a kind of a wide region. Even Memphis is right across the damn road from Arkansas, so they could go to Arkansas too. Arkansas is really not that far. So there you go. I just wanted to show you all that. There's the song of the day. They're friends of mine. They are great. If you like the Oliver Anthony type music and stuff like that, and the more traditional, I call it traditional, because we've gotten so far off the path with music that that these good songwriters like this is songs about real life and stuff. So there you go. I don't know what happened to JJ. What happened to your camper, dude?
I'm here.
Oh, are you stripping? Are you naked? Don't be naked on the show, dude.
The plaid shirt was giving me
naked. Are you kidding me?
The plaid shirt was giving me an eyesore, so I had to change out. Okay,
how many wardrobe dressing changes do I need for tomorrow's show so I can?
I don't know.
Okay,
you need to talk to your producer, whoever she is and wherever she is. Okay, I have this song. Oh, it must be in the Discord. I was like, I have Captain playing in the background while you're talking. Oh, my producer.
There's your producer right there.
Yeah, she's in charge of wardrobe, budget. She's in charge of it.
Food.
She has a lot of calendars, especially. I do not know how to calendar, not that I don't know how to calendar. I refuse to calendar anything.
I think if Ashley didn't buy groceries, I would starve to death. I think
probably
I would just be like, oh, well, I've ate cheese sandwiches for the past 12 days.
Yeah, dude. Tortilla, cheese, tortilla. Put it on the grill. That's a quesadilla, bro.
Sounds good.
I mean, that's all I need. That's all I need to do.
All right, let's get to some Vivek.
Okay.
This morning.
I want to play. I'm going to start with this. First, there was a RNC debate last night, and nobody watched it. It was between Ron DeSantis, who's losing, and Nikki Haley, who's losing, and has spent something like $60 million in her campaign.
Holy mackerel.
Right, and
that's a lot of tiny homes for homeless people across the country, isn't it? That would feed a lot of people that are starving this winter.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money.
I'm getting feedback. I'm getting double. Is it your audio feeding me back to me?
Let me check here.
So, test. Yeah, all better. Okay.
I've got my phone down.
Here
now.
No, it's gone. The reverb is gone. The double up is gone.
Absolutely nothing.
Cool. Maybe it was Restream. Never know. Probably was Restream
because you get doubled up. You'll get doubled up about halfway through the show. So we apologize.
All right. So last night there was a debate between Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley that nobody watched, as far as I am aware. Counter programming to that, I think Donald Trump was doing a Fox News interview where he was doing a town hall. And Vivek Ramaswamy also did a town hall. So but we will talk about the debate a little bit. I want to show you this.
Where are we at in the show? Where's the timestamp? 6:08:09.
8:09. Yeah, well, it's 8:12 now.
Okay, hang on. I gotta write that down. I'm sitting here. Can you see the light behind me right here?
Yeah.
You see the hall? You see where it goes off into the hallway right there?
Yeah.
Swear to God, I saw something.
Pull it up on
I just want
Rumble.
To get
okay.
It might just be me freaking out. It might be my floaters.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
Could be your glaucoma. Okay. Jeez. Hey, folks, can you guys actually do something on the show? Yeah. We're getting to it. Don't be so impatient.
Jeez.
Kids these days. Ramaswamy ran an ad during the CNN debate, and this is his ad. I'm going to play it. This is free advertising.
Because I'm Vivek Ramaswamy, and I approve this message. The mainstream media is trying to rig the Iowa GOP caucus in favor of the corporate candidates who they can control. Don't fall for their trick. They don't want you to hear from me about the truth of what really happened on January 6th, the truth about the COVID origin, the Hunter Biden laptop story, and everything else they have lied to you about.
It sounds like everything we talk about like all the time.
Take your remote and turn this off.
His entire ad was just don't watch their debate. I'm like, that's amazing.
So when I saw this, I thought, wow, that's exactly right. 1,000%. But the second thought that went through my mind was he has got some brilliant marketing people behind him.
You think so?
I mean, this is
he definitely probably has a team.
A great move. He is getting people
Me.
He's getting people to his side that would not normally go to his side.
I have reservations about Vivek,
but you and
good.
I do too. I have reservations about him. I think he is he's too good to be true. He's saying a lot of the same things that Obama did when Obama came into for the forefront and almost word for word. Not just like one or two.
It works.
It's not just like one or two political statements that he's saying. He's using phrases that Obama used. I mean, just in taking the nouns and moving them around, but it's the same phrase. He's just saying it differently. And his pharmaceutical ties and all this, he's just, I'm just one of these people that if it's
you're not comfortable yet.
No, I'm not comfortable yet. I'm just not comfortable with it yet.
But you're not comfortable with anybody else either, are you? No. Nikki Haley that wants to have everybody on the internet have a digital ID so the deep state can track you and wants to kill people in all these other countries.
The people that they have picked for us to give the illusion of a choice, I'm not happy with. Is what I'm saying. The people that they have chose to give us an illusion of choice. I don't.
What about Ron Stilts DeSantis? Are you comfortable with him and how he's picking his people on his team?
To be completely honest with you, I quit paying attention to Ron because in my mind, he like I stated a couple of months earlier when we were talking about him. If Ron were in any other state, I think he would have done a lot better. But being in Florida, which a part of Florida is also controlled by the country of Disney, the country of Disney, that hurt him badly politically. And for this, that hurt him. If, like I said, if he were in any other state that did not have the country of Disney inside of it,
part of Ron's problem is that he got a lot of backing from these hardcore never Trumpers, and he recruited a team of never Trumpers, and their whole mission has just been like, Trump is evil, so go with Ron, he's good. And then they're telling him to do dumb stuff like put some lifts in your boots and nobody will notice. Everybody noticed.
That's dumb. That's dumb.
It is dumb, but
if you are a short person, you're a short person. I mean, I hung out. My best friend, who's still my best friend today, one of my best friends today, was in high school. He was 6'8". All right.
Yeah.
I hung out with guys that were like 6'4", 6'5". My buddy that I worked with was 6'6". That he was like my brother Rhodey.
That's true.
I always felt.
Yeah, it's not a problem in person, especially, right? But on TV, the reality is but
that illusion that the big, strong leader crap is,
it's visual language that cues into basic human stuff.
That basic human whatever is going away is what I'm saying.
You think so?
I don't look at it. It's not Revenge of the Nerds where you look at Ogre and you look at Poindexter and you're like, oh, Ogre's the big one. I mean, nowadays Poindexter is more powerful than Ogre is. Ogre can lift 300 pounds, but Poindexter is more powerful.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, but that doesn't change that the subliminal primitive human selection of a leader for your tribe is biggest guy, tallest guy, strongest guy, the guy that can hunt the pig fact. Yeah, Jason Momoa. That's the primitive human instinct for a leader trait, and it's a heuristic. You're not going to listen to the arguments. You're going to
that type of society, the hunter.
We don't live in that society, but we are those kind of people.
We are. Yes, I'm not debating you on that. We are. But what I'm saying is we don't live in that type of society anymore, and we haven't for a few hundred years, or probably more than that. But
who yeah, right.
Who really knows? But it's not that. I see what you're saying. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just we're.
So Hugh Jackman can be Wolverine.
No.
Yep. Nobody cares that Wolverine's supposed to be 5'2". It doesn't matter.
That was my only. I've argued with people for 20, 30, however long he's been Wolverine. I have argued with people over this fact. Like, you don't like Hugh Jackman? I said, no, it's not that. Hugh Jackman did a great Wolverine. If Hugh Jackman were 5'3", he would have been absolutely perfect. He was he's like 6'2" or something. The whole, to me, who read X-Men back in the 80s and 90s, the whole thing for Wolverine was he had little man syndrome. Somebody's here. Hang on.
Oh yeah. He had this, he was shorter than everybody on the team, and they constantly talked about it. It never seemed to matter to the story, but he was this little burly dude. The thing is, the reason why that's your complaint about Hugh Jackman is because that's the only thing to complain about Hugh Jackman, because otherwise he's a delightful man. He can dance, he can sing, he can go shing shing. He's great at Wolverine. I don't know how we were off topic like this. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. Dave dragged us completely off of politics and not to schnick.
That's what Dave does.
Thanks.
Here, let me be Dave for a second.
Yeah.
No comment.
One day you guys will know why he can't tell us things. Let's see. Christie dropped out. There was a debate last night. Oh, you got my joke, right? My title joke. That was funny. That was a funny joke. Dave's laughing right now. Let's see. I posted a clip in the show notes. Let me grab the clip because of the other Vivek thing that I wanted to show you. Here we go. So while people that don't matter were having a debate, and while Donald Trump was talking to Fox News, which also doesn't matter very much, Vivek Ramaswamy was having a town hall in Iowa on Timcast. And Timcast, very influential. I'm getting feedback again on you. And I think this is a boost for Vivek's campaign. We'll have to see how it goes or not. But here is a clip from the. Come on. Here's a clip from the show.
See, it's Restream doing it.
Yeah, I bet it is Restream. Here we go.
Same people are going to put him up to be Nikki's vice president. So you play this forward. That's
a little low.
Final step: take Trump out of contention, trot the corporate puppets into office. That's where this plot ends. And I feel like I see this with the level of clarity that makes it torturous. It's like a kind of form of torture to watch this playing out in real time without standing up and actually doing something about it.
Let me real quick, just to get it in there. Scenario: Donald Trump wins the.
Okay, so what he's saying is that the squid monster, deep state, NSA, whoever, letter organization plan is not to replace Biden to try to go up against Trump, and it's not. But instead, it's not, and it's not to get Biden to get reelected either. The deep state squid plan is to get the GOP, the Republicans, to nominate Nikki Haley, who wants an ID for everybody that's on the internet and wants the government to be able to know exactly who you're talking to and what you're saying. Nikki Haley, who is a warmonger. Nikki Haley, who I saw a video yesterday, said that her inspiration for getting into politics was Hillary Clinton. The deep state. Yes. Oh, I should let me pull that up too. Nikki Haley is the deep state candidate, and what they're doing is they're not putting her up as a Democrat. They're putting, because the Democratic brand is damaged. They want to put her up as the Republican. So they get Christie out. Ron DeSantis has lost everything. Nikki Haley will not fight the deep state on forever wars, and they won't fight her on surveillance state. Nikki Haley is the squid monster candidate. Now, if they can keep Trump out of the elections, if they can keep him off of primaries, they can push Nikki Haley up, and they can allow Biden to wander off into the sunset. I'm going to finish this clip here.
He comes right on out and says, Vivek Ramaswamy, you are my vice president. What do you say?
Donald Trump wins you're saying Donald Trump wins the primary and then that. So I think we just have to have an honest conversation. I mean, if that's the scenario we're in, that's not what I'm playing for, but if that's what we're in, I have an inconvenient attribute, which is that I have opinions. I have strong opinions about things. I'm not somebody who really, rolls over or whatever. But what I've said is Donald Trump has my full support if he's the nominee. And I expect his full support if I'm the nominee. But I don't think we get to that place. That's the whole premise of I mean,
we don't
when
even
you think
get
it's Gavin
to
Newsom
that.
or Joe Biden as the puppet, you think you might get to that place. I don't think they want Biden or Newsom. I think Nikki is a far more reliable pawn for the system with respect to the two things they care about most, which is keeping the foreign war machine humming, far more reliable on places from the Middle East to Ukraine. She's far more hawkish than actually anybody in the Democratic side. And with respect to the national security state, I don't think Joe Biden could have come up with the idea if he tried to tie every social media account and internet account with the government-issued ID. So I don't think it goes there, Tim. I think where it goes is they want this late in the primary.
So that is the Squid Monster plan dropped by Vivek Ramaswamy.
It's pretty good.
What do you think? I mean, that rings true to me. That sounds like you can think he's a sketchy dude, but that sounds like he's saying true things. That's what I think.
Yeah, I have to agree. I do think that he's I think he has a silver tongue. I'm not going to say silver tongue devil. That's the phrase.
Polished. He is a polished speaker for sure.
He is a wordsmith. He's a very good speaker.
Very good. Corporate candidate. Oh my God. If that one word, it puts a stink taint right on him, doesn't it?
I don't
Corporate
think
candidate.
Vivek is one of those guys that I think he's like Shapiro. I think he's just very intelligent, very well read, and has a great memory. And everything that he reads, he's so passionate about. When you're passionate about something, you remember that stuff, all that.
Yeah.
And I think he's passionate about this, and he remembers all this stuff. Like Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is amazing to me when he starts going off on. He just going off the top of his head, because you can see his brain working in real time. And I think Vivek's kind of like that. I don't think everything that he says is a speech that has been written. He's going off of knowledge that he actually has. When you ask him a question, he's going to give you a real answer, as opposed to when you ask some of these senators a question, they're going to be like, well, the thing is that when we go into power, they're going to dance around the damn question. I have to give him that.
Look at this. I just said Nikki Haley, Hillary Clinton, because I was looking for that clip. And 4 hours ago, Politico posted this article: how Nikki Haley just might beat Donald Trump. If that doesn't tell you that they're trying to pump her up, dude, Nikki Haley. If you don't regularly watch the show, even if you do, you'd probably be like, who? Who are you talking about? Trump, I know. DeSantis, I know. They don't know who she is.
If it gets down to just her and Trump, they will start pushing her towards the women harder than anything you've ever seen before.
Yeah, they're going to get the wine mom vote. They want that suburban wine mom vote.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. They're going to hit up all of these women's issues, and abortion will be number one.
Yeah.
That issue will be thrown back into the forefront.
I'm telling you, I think this is, I think some snake is
okay.
Squid Monster.
All right. We got some other stuff to talk about. We got 30 minutes.
Yeah. All right.
Some of the stuff we can kind of skip.
I just wanted to say, by the way, you threw me down this fizzle drip well yesterday. Nasty. The Dom Lucre thing. Man,
dude. Yeah. And anywhere else you would crap. But since it comes from Dom,
later
probably got credibility to it.
Later last night, I saw Malcolm Flex post something about it too. You know who Malcolm Flex is? Do you follow him on Twitter?
I don't guess so.
Okay. Yeah. Malcolm Flex. So, man, look, this is I'm not even gonna describe it. It's horrifying what is being suggested. And it's not even new. They've been talking about this for like 10 years, apparently.
Hang on, let's see how we could word it. It's a
adrenochrome. If you've ever heard anything about adrenochrome,
you could word it like it says it's a Hillary Clinton snuff film.
Yeah, there's some screenshots of
said that it's been out for a long time, and like you said, it come from how do you say his last name? Dom Lucre.
I say I don't know. I never heard him say his last name. So
I haven't either, so I don't know.
Lucre.
Dom Lucre.
I don't know.
He's a very influential guy on Twitter.
Yeah.
I think he's in Nashville, black guy from Nashville.
Oh, seriously?
I think he is from Nashville. And very influential.
So,
we don't have to talk about. I was going to talk about something else. I don't even want to talk about that. Yeah,
yuck,
dude. Just follow.
But the only thing I want to say about it is that this has all of the like red flags to me of a sensational story that your mind wants to believe, and it's total bullshit. But it's also Hillary Clinton, so a lot of people die around Hillary Clinton.
Well, one of the tactics to get you to not believe certain things about somebody is to just spill 20 different lies. So, like they did on the Office episode. It's the Office episode. Stanley was cheating on his wife, and Michael accidentally said it. So Michael goes around and starts making up lies about everybody so that nobody will believe anything, and nobody will believe that Michael accidentally told that Stanley was cheating on his wife. And it's what the CIA's been doing for ever. All right, I want to bring this. Yeah.
Join our server if you want to ask us about this nasty topic.
This is let me put that back up there. I just wanted to give, this is a big story that's coming out. I think this is going to have some, this is probably the squid monster working and you're not even noticing. The FCC has given Bitcoins, the ETFs, the green light. The SEC, they've basically allowed 11 firms to offer Bitcoin ETFs. Now while we've approved the listing and trading of certain spot Bitcoin shares today, we did not approve they do not approve or endorse Bitcoin. Investors should remain cautious about the myriad risks associated with Bitcoin and products whose values are linked to crypto. Basically, this is a baby step into turning the whole world over to electronic money.
This
is the first little goo goo gaga. They've allowed these 11 firms to operate and trade and do this, and I don't know all about it. It's just, to me,
exchange traded fund.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so now you can use Bitcoin to exchange, to trade for those 11 firms. And they were talking about it in the general chat earlier. Oh, I'm not doing that today. That's a good quote. They were talking about the Bitcoin thing, and it said, and I told them, I said, about 20 years ago, a buddy of mine that's here in the town, I still talk to him time to time. He owns a computer business now, and he was first getting that computer business started. It's a pretty big business now. He was first getting it started, and he saw him, and he used to run the IT for the radio station. He said, a buddy of mine just bought a car with these things called Bitcoin. And I'm like, what the hell's a Bitcoin? And he was trying to explain it to me and how you mine it and whatnot. And I really didn't understand, because this is like 20 years ago. And he said, he traded in he paid for it with 16 of these Bitcoin. He bought a brand new car for $18,000 or something like that. And he traded in. They were $100 a piece, or I don't remember how much they were at the time. They were very, very cheap. And he tried to get me into them, and I looked into it, and I was just like, nah, I'm not doing any of this crap. This is too much work. And now I think it's trading at $46,000 a coin.
Yeah, it was up at 60 a couple years ago, and then it dropped 70. Down to 30. Yeah,
it dropped. So it's like $46,000 a coin.
The thing. So it's so difficult. I just can't.
There's that one guy who had 20 years ago who had hundreds or thousands of Bitcoin on his hard drive, and the hard drive
lost the computer
or something, and it got thrown out. And he has been searching the trash dump ever since. And I'm guessing other people, but I think he is out there probably now, I don't know, searching for this hard drive in this dump, because it's worth
it's gone.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. This hard drive that's just laying in the garbage somewhere. So I just wanted to bring that story up. A lot of people don't know or have anything to do with Bitcoin, and to me, it's scary because it's
it's complicated. It's not easy.
My dad, we live on the New Madrid Fault. The second, huge earthquake fault line here that runs along our area. The last time it was a major earthquake on the New Madrid Fault. It formed the Reelfoot Lake. It made the Mississippi River run backwards. It was in the early 1800s. You probably read about it in school. It rang the church bells in Boston rang. Because it was so big. It was like 8.9 or something like that.
Wow.
So we have little rumbles all the time. And Dad always has said, everybody around here is dumb as hell, stupid, because they don't have ones. And this is how he would say it. Everybody around here is stupid because they don't have ones and fives buried in coffee cans in their yard. Because when that earthquake hits, ain't nobody going to have change for a 20 or a 10. And I was like, he's got a good point. when the ice storm happened here about 10 years ago and you could not get, no computers worked, nothing. You could not get any cash from anywhere.
Right.
Only people with, and if you had 20s and hundreds, nobody's going to give you change for that. I only got 620. I can't break that. They can't do it.
Yeah. Can't do it.
You have the smaller
let me rip this 20 in half. You have half.
Yeah. It completely made sense. I was like, my dumb old country dad's pretty smart.
Yeah, that's just true. Yeah. Like, what are you going to do when an EMP knocks out communications and then you can't trade Bitcoin for shit? What are you going to do? How are you going to use? I don't know. I get the idea in principle of Bitcoin and using crypto and blockchain to track transfers and transactions and stuff. But like, it's not easy. You can take dollar bills and stuff them in your pocket. That's so easy. So, hey, let's. I see that you put. We're all mixed up today. We're scattering all over topics. I saw that you put the Fannie Willis topic in there yesterday, and I saw the story, but I didn't know if you want to talk about it or not. But let's talk about it for a second.
You put it in there yesterday, and since we didn't talk about it, I heard them talking about it on the news today, where I heard them just say that the headline, prosecutor in the Georgia Trump case is facing some legal trouble herself. And I was like, oh, well, let me look up that story. And I was like, oh, JJ had that yesterday. He was ahead of the news once again.
He just didn't mention on the show. David says, isn't Cash Money fake too?
Yes.
It's imaginary. You have imaginary money, but you can conduct imaginary transactions person to person with cash.
Quit trying to be logical on the show. We're only logical on Fridays when you're here. So let us be farcical for 4 days, and then we can be logical for one.
Yeah. So one of the many charges and trials against Donald Trump that the Democrats are losing everywhere. One of the many ones is in Georgia, where the Fulton County DA, Fannie Willis, is charging Donald Trump with...
It's pronounced Fannie.
Is it?
No, I don't know. You never seen that commercial? The guy's sitting there. I'm sorry, I'm going to get off the topic real quick.
No.
You never seen the commercial with the guy being interviewed, and it's the young kid, and he's like, Mr. Dumbass, here at Dumbass and Dumbass, I'm going to be a great person, blah, blah, blah. And I love to work for Dumbass, Mr. Dumbass. And he shows the old guy, and he goes, it's Dumas. Always love that commercial. Yeah, I was trying to make a stupid Fanny joke.
No,
I've heard other people pronounce her name. They don't say Fanny. They don't say Fanny, but they said it a different way. And I said, that's not her name. Her name is Fanny. All right. That's what it is. And you're trying to not make it sound like a butt. So you're trying to say it a different way. Because
the thing is,
but that's how does her mom what does her mom call her? Fanny?
So here's the thing. Simulation theory people would probably be like, oh, this is the simulation because the DA that's charging Trump, whose name is Fanny, is getting involved in a sex scandal. So here we go. You get it?
All right. What's going on with Fanny?
Yeah. All right. So this woman is the DA for Fulton County, and she hired a private attorney to do the prosecution against Donald Trump. A private attorney who would not qualify to be a Fulton County defense attorney. So if you cannot be a defense attorney, then how can you be a prosecutor if you're not qualified to be a Fulton County defense attorney? So she hired this dude to be the prosecutor in the special trial against Donald Trump. and happens to be in an improper relationship with him. An improper relationship that has, I think they've been on 3 vacations together, including like Norwegian Cruise Lines or something like that. Over $600,000 in taxpayer money has been diverted to this prosecutor. Let's see.
Wow.
I don't even know the guy's name. Yeah. So Fulton County, vis-a-vis Fannie Willis, has diverted $600,000 to the law firm that is running this trial against Trump, prosecuting Trump, which has richly benefited him. And then he takes Fannie Willis on vacations, or they schedule vacations together. They're going on vacations together. So they're in a relationship. He's not, his ex-wife is like having financial difficulties because he's not supporting her. And so these two, so basically she's giving taxpayer money to this dude, and then she's getting enriched by it, by having dinners.
So
and,
there's
romances.
There's no black, night goggle footage of them in a romantic getaway in a theater somewhere. I mean, because we've got
that you can only do that if you're a Democrat and you're looking at Republicans. You're not allowed to post that. If the culprit is a Democrat, you have to not present any evidence or anything like that. Yeah, that's the rules. Democrats get to try to get away with stuff. Anyway, so this would be fun to watch the Fulton County case
this is interesting.
disintegrate. Falls apart. This, by the way, this Georgia case is the one that everybody was like, this is going to be the one that they're going to convict Trump, and then he'll be guilty and won't be able to run for president. Okay. And meanwhile, Trump is defeating the 14th Amendment, like keeping him off the ballot case in various states, and he's just beating these cases. So anyway, okay, that's all I had to say about that.
I saw this story come up, and I wanted to point out something in the story. I read this the other day. Hackers just leaked some sensitive files from over 200 police departments that are searchable by badge number.
Oh, neat.
So the highlights here: hackers have leaked hundreds of gigabytes worth of potentially sensitive files from police departments across the U.S. in the form of searchable database that can be sorted by their badge numbers. Excuse me. The leaked data stemmed from a security breach at a Houston-based web services company that maintains several law enforcement data centers. The files don't provide much information about police misconduct, but they do include emails that appear to show how police departments and the FBI have monitored protests across the U.S. The files include police departments exchanging information about the clothes, tattoos, and Twitter handles of people at the protests.
Oh my goodness.
This is this was interesting. And this came out the other day, and I was thinking,
is that good or bad? How come the FBI can't arrest anyone that is Antifa when they literally organize on Twitter? But if you put on a red ball cap and walk in the vicinity of the Capitol, you're going to get arrested on J6 charges.
This is good and bad. I mean, we need law enforcement. We need good law enforcement people. We do.
We do.
The unfortunate problem is, just like in any other place, there's good people and bad people. And people that take advantage, and the bad people are the ones that always get the most press, the most, they're always the one that you look at. You never see, the good, look at all the good.
Yeah.
You always see the bad first, and the bad is highlighted first. It's the same with law enforcement. But it needs to be transparent. It needs to be, I understand that law enforcement doesn't need to be completely transparent, because they have to do stuff to,
they have to investigate things or whatever. Okay.
Like, this is like, all right.
This seems like information that we should have anyway.
A lot of bad stuff that goes on in law enforcement anyway, because if a police officer in your county gets in trouble and gets fired from his county, he goes to the county over and gets a job doing the exact same thing. There's no list or anything like that. They bounce around. And I understand that if I get fired from this radio station, I'm going to go to another radio station. But if I got fired for saying,
something,
fuck you,
yeah.
that other radio station's not going to hire me.
Right.
And that other radio station's not going to hire me. And that radio station might hire me, but they're going to give me stiff freaking rules and monitor every single thing that I say. You know, so it's really not like that. It's like, what'd you get in trouble for? Okay, come on.
He calls them gypsy cops, the ones you're talking about, go from county to county to county.
Gypsy cops. Yeah, I've heard that before.
Cops.
Gypsy cops. That happened.
So
we need good law enforcement officers. There are good law enforcement officers out there. They just don't get recognized. They get overshadowed by the asshole law enforcement officers that are taking advantage of it.
So let's take the hacker angle out of this completely. Should communications between state employees and government employees, should that be transparent to the public? They work for us. Like maybe a database like this should just be publicly available. And maybe if you are carrying a badge and have the authority of the state and you have power given to you by American citizens, maybe you don't have a right to private emails. Maybe you don't have a right to that. You know, like that. Maybe.
Dude,
don't be a public official.
There's so many freaking communication apps that WhatsApp is the number one used by everybody, and even other countries besides the U.S. use WhatsApp more than the U.S. does.
Yeah.
Because there's like the hardest one to crack and hack and get into and whatnot. And so, I mean, you don't think that
they have end-to-end
these
encryption
terrorist organizations and stuff have their own freaking people that's created their own apps that there's not available
to
talk with and stuff.
I'm just saying, I just like, I'm not worried about.
I see what you're saying. I understand completely what you're saying. I'm not even disagreeing with what you're saying.
I mean, look, you're right though. The argument against public transparency of public information is always, well, what about national security? How do we keep secrets from our enemies? And I just think that that's bullshit.
I've always said, dude, yeah, there's stuff that the United States government
for sure
should be doing that I, Deacon, random guy in Kentucky, should not have a clue that the government is doing. Because if I, random guy in Kentucky, knows what that is going on, so does random bad guy number 1 through 1,000.
Yeah, but
they're going to know before me. They're going to know before me. So that shouldn't be. You know, that's what I always joked. I was like, when they started that phone hacking crap like 20 years ago, remember? And everybody's like, everybody got into a big. I was like, dude, if they want to listen to my bullshit conversations about radio or comic books, whatever. you know,
right?
I don't care. That's what I say about the phone now. When y'all joke about TikTok, they're like, the Chinese is monitoring you on TikTok. I'm like, well, if they're seeing all of my freaking TikTok videos about Bigfoot and aliens, then okay.
Yeah.
I've got a sad one here for you. This one I wanted because it's getting cold and I wanted to bring up, and this is good dad information, but this is a terrible story. This elderly couple in South Carolina has been found in their home, and their heater in their basement was 1,000 degrees, they believe.
Shut up. What the hell?
How? This elderly couple was found in their home Saturday. They say the heater's temperature was 1,000 degrees. This police department said that they were conducting a welfare check on them. And when they went into the home, they said they had described the home as extremely hot. The family of the deceased had told police that they had not seen their parents since Wednesday. When the officers arrived, they said all the doors were locked, but the windows leading to the victims' bedrooms were not secure. So police went in through the bedroom, and they saw the couple was on their bed, deceased. The firefighters found a heater in the basement that was with a temperature reading inside the heater was over 1,000 degrees before they were able to deactivate it. One firefighter said the heater was so hot it looked as if the basement was currently on fire. Once officials
the
heater was not on fire, they deactivated it. They then measured the temperature of the heater itself at more than 1,000 degrees. Fire officials say the interior temperature of the home still exceeded 120 degrees after the home was open to cold weather for about 20 minutes. Medics measured the body temperatures of the victims that reached up to 106 degrees.
They cooked.
Both victims exceeded that reading. They cooked. They died.
That's
and they
terrible.
Cooked. They cooked. It is terrible.
Okay, so Dave says, why can the heater even go to 1,000? I mean, I'm like, for real, is it electric or is it gas? Is it a gas heater of some kind? If it's electric, for sure. Like, how does that even work?
They said after the house had been open for around 2.5 hours, the temperature reading was still at 96 degrees.
Yeah, it takes a while for heat to dissipate.
Please
from an insulated house.
Don't use heaters with those little heaters with extension cords. Please know, if you don't know anything about electricity, please just Google simple electricity, know what you can plug in and what you can't. A lot of people don't know about their electrical boxes and what they're hooked to in their house. Like, look around your room. You would probably know, guys probably do. I know that all of these plugs right here are on one breaker.
Yep.
These on this wall and that room are on another breaker. And the reason I know this is because I've blown this breaker before. And now the stuff I plug in over here, my damn hair dryer. My hair dryer blew this breaker one time. So I plug it across the room now. And
I don't know who needs to hear this, but there's cheap electrical cords. They sometimes extension cords. They have narrow gauge wire inside. So the way that wire is sized is by gauges, and the lower the number of the gauge, the thicker the wire, right? But so if it's like 8 gauge, it's thicker than if it's 10 gauge, or if it's 12 gauge or 15 gauge. So the narrower the wire inside the extension cord, then when you're running electricity through it, and especially when you're pulling something like a heater that's drawing a lot of electricity because it's turning it into heat, it heats up the cord, and it can actually melt or blow the cord if it's a crappy enough electrical cord. Mm-hmm. Or if you have one of those non-grounded cords, and then it
always happens.
Careful with that stuff.
Always, I've been in radio for 30 years. Every winter there's house fires. It's house fire season. It starts up. It's terrible because of stuff like this. People overloading outlets, not paying attention to heater cords, not really knowing basic electricity. Electricity is not complicated. It's very simple to understand if you just take the time to understand it, just to look into it. And once you understand it, the basics of it, it's just like, okay, that's ohms and volts and wattage and all that. It's very simple to understand about how much, the wire can hold, how much energy is going through the wire, how much energy everything else disperses it. It's very simple to understand. So please just, if you don't know about it, look it up. You've got Google and YouTube. All right. I'm sure there's special wires and stuff out now.
If Dave's also saying, if you have a decent cord, but you're only going 3 feet and it's a 15-foot cord, so you just leave it coiled up, that coil is going to get hotter and hotter and hotter, and the heat from one part of the coil is going to heat the other part of the coil faster, so the whole thing gets hotter quicker. Mm-hmm. Good point. Excellent. Wow. Look at the great advice you get here on Your Two Dads. All right. You got an AI story? You said you had an AI story.
I do have an AI story. Do you want to play your thing?
Oh, of course I do.
Beep, bop, boop. This
is AI news. What happened on my video? Why did it do that? Why did it cut out early? That's crazy. What's up, D?
Oh, hey. Oh. Okay, so I want to get your reaction to this. I've put this in the secret stash Discord server. Thousands of AI experts are torn about what they've created, a new study finds. Let me read this to you. Back in yesteryear of 2016, I don't know why I went into that. Researchers,
old-timey voice.
In
Listen here, kids. Breaking news.
2016, Researchers at this place, AI Impacts, a project that aims to improve understanding of advanced AI development, released a survey of machine learning researchers. All right. These researchers were asked when they expected the development of the AI systems are comparable to humans along many dimensions, and as well as whether to expect good or bad results from such an achievement. Now, remember, this is in 2016. The median respondent gave a 5% chance of human level AI leading to outcomes that were extremely bad, i.e., human extinction. 5%. That means half of the researchers gave a higher estimate than 5%, saying that they considered it overwhelmingly likely that powerful AI would lead to human extinction, and half gave a lower one. The other half obviously believed the chance was negligible. If that were true, it'd be unprecedented. In what other field do moderate, middle-of-the-road researchers claim that the development of a more powerful technology, or one that they're directly working on, has a 5% chance of ending human life on Earth forever? All right. So that was in 2016.
Okay.
AI researchers. So AI Impacts has released their follow-up survey this week. Was it this week? Yeah, January 10th. This was a story from yesterday. The headline result that between 37.8% and 51.4% of respondents gave at least a 10% chance of advanced AI leading to outcomes as bad as human extinction. That went up a little bit in a couple of years.
Oh, boy.
So you got to remember, AI back in 2016 was it was nearly
rudimentary.
Useless.
It was yeah.
And now it's it's inconveniently good. I like how they put that. Inconveniently good at writing college level essays, and companies have poured billions of dollars into making it better. There was one this week where I don't remember who it was, Altman or somebody was saying that there's no way that AI would do anything without getting the content that it's getting, whether it's, copyrighted or not. There's no way it would learn what it needs to learn. It was a whole big story on that. So it's only taken, like 7 years for that percentage to go up 5%, 10%,
Yeah.
And I've seen a million times.
That's because initially people were like, well, it's like, how could AI? And they probably couldn't think of like, there's probably not that many ways that AI could actually, and now in the last 5 years, we're like, oh yeah, I know. We can stick this thing on all kinds of stuff. You can put AI on really small processors, and it doesn't need, it needs resources, but
everything now. Because I've got a lot of my friends. A lot of my friends are like, I don't know anything about AI, dude. There is a lot of AI everything. One of my the one that I'm so excited about, I'm waiting for, is the first role-playing type video game. Somebody to put AI in a mod for Skyrim, to where every single non-player character is their own person, and they will remember the conversations that you had with them.
Yeah.
Game changing.
I just had $1 million idea right now.
We're gonna go.
Have you ever had? Yeah. Okay. Just about a minute.
I got one more story.
Have you? Good. Have you ever seen Red Dwarf? Did you ever watch Red Dwarf?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Deacon, look at me for a second. What if we made a company that sold a toaster with AI in it? An AI toaster. Yes. AI toaster.
You may be onto something there, but all right, I got one more for you because we promised Star Wars news, and I told you it was going to be good news.
Oh yeah. Let's do the Star Wars news.
So Jon Favreau has been slated to produce more. To Mandalorian and Grogu are embarking on a new adventure to movie theaters, directed by Jon Favreau and produced by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
Yeah, right.
The Mandalorian and Grogu will go into production this year.
I love Jon Favreau. I love the man, and I appreciate
everything. Like him and Dave Filoni are the real Jedi of the Star Wars universe.
I appreciate Iron Man, first Iron Man. Come on, Jon Favreau, amazing. I deeply
nerd
appreciate
like us.
the
He's a
movie
nerd
Chef.
like us that was from our era, that's our age. That's why we like him so much, is because he would have been our buddy that we hung out with on the weekends and stuff.
For sure.
And played Star Wars Trivial Pursuit with.
John, if you're out there, anytime you want to just come hang out on the show, you can.
Will you like and subscribe first, please?
Please. Come on. I love Jon Favreau. I think Dave Filoni's got a bit of a wolf fetish. He's kind of a weirdo. But whatever.
Well, yeah, whatever. If he's a furry, whatever.
Kathleen Kennedy is fucking poison. She is.
Anybody that does not like Dave Filoni and that likes Star Wars, or does not know anything about Dave Filoni, let me tell you, back when Disney acquired Star Wars, all of those books and all of that stuff that had been written about what happened afterwards, they were like, that didn't really happen. We're calling that legends now.
That's right.
So that really, all this stuff didn't really happen. Okay. So we're going to invent our own news story with these new movies. And that
thanks for spending all that money on that before. Doesn't count.
So
I knew
Dave Filoni, who is actually a Star Wars fan that did the Clone Wars, if you will watch the Clone Wars and you will watch all these cartoons that he did, the Clone Wars especially, Dave started inserting things into the Clone Wars that was from the legends, and because he'd done that, it was now in the Star Wars mythos again. So he inserted all the ancient Sith and the Sith holocrons and all these other things. I can't remember them all. There's a bunch of them that
Jedi temples and
reintroduced back into the stories. So he's a big Star Wars hero of mine. He may be a weirdo.
And it has taken him a long time to undo the damage that was done with a wave of a pen by Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, it took him a while.
And for some reason, despite the fact that Disney Star Wars fails and fails and fails and fails and fails, they won't get rid of Kathleen Kennedy or Bob. It doesn't make any sense.
You know that Netflix one that we were talking about that was supposed
Rebel
to be
Moon?
Rebel Moon. I watched it. I ended up watching it, and
the PG-13 version.
I didn't think it was that bad. PG-13, whatever. I mean, I didn't think it was that bad. It's a part one of a story, so I'm looking at it as a chapteral story. But it was I mean, you go through the meeting of the characters just like any first part of the story. You have to meet your characters, your main characters and your team and stuff, and you have to meet your main character and see what she's about or he's about. And it was a she. And you go through what she's doing for her quest, and then you have to meet your adventurers, your companions on your quest, just like any story. And that's what it was. And I didn't think it was that bad, but I didn't think it was like, I did think very easily. I the whole time I was watching it, I was like, yeah, this was Star Wars.
They just changed the hats.
Star Wars, they had to go back to rewrite all this stuff, and it actually kind of made it better in some of the ways. But I can completely see this being a Star Wars movie.
Holy moly. Check this out. We got somebody on Kick. So St. Louis, awesome stream. Hey, appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out.
Far from the Lou. I love the Lou, man. If you're really from St. Louis, I'm only about 3 hours from St. Louis. We go and watch the Cardinals usually once a year. We didn't get to go watch them this year, but we usually go try to watch the Cardinals. And
I wish we'd get that meetup to work. We're gonna have to do the meetup some other time. So back to this real quick. So Jon Favreau is getting a Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Yeah. And that's in addition to the Dave Filoni Thrawn movie, right? So both of the good guys.
Another addition, I bet, from Dave Filoni from the Legends. Because he was in the cartoons.
Right. And, I told you when we talked about Ahsoka, I think it's maybe one of the better shows that they have done, but I also had some criticisms of it. And we don't have to go all the way down into I should have watched Rebels or whatever. I mean, on its face, there was some good stuff and there was some bad, and there was some one of the things that I was a little bit not great about was Thrawn, because now 30 years ago I read the Thrawn trilogy. And I have seen clips of Thrawn as interpreted on Rebels or Clone Wars or whatever, and they used the same actor that did the voice in the show. That's cool, but he didn't physically look intimidating.
He did not look like Thrawn in your mind's eye that you invented years ago when you read that trilogy, did you? He did not look like the Thrawn in my mind's eye, because the Thrawn that I always picture was the Thrawn that was on the cover of the book, the art.
Right. Yeah.
That's how I always pictured him in my mind. And when I saw the Thrawn in Ahsoka, I was like, okay, he don't look just like that, but that guy's perfect. I mean, he's not...
He is a great actor. He's a good actor, for sure.
You know who Thrawn reminded me of? That Thrawn in Ahsoka reminded me of, and he wasn't as good, but he reminded me of him, is the I can't remember his name, but the head Nazi in Inglourious Bastards. You know? Oh my God.
Oh my God. He would have been an amazing Thrawn.
He is the scariest freaking guy you've ever seen. And it's because of his demeanor and how he put that on. And that's how I envisioned Thrawn, is in that role, about how he's very refined, and he will and smiles, but is just evil. It's just, and that's how I like Thrawn.
And he's also, he does reprehensible things, and he's somehow extremely likable,
emotionless, but he's got a lot of charisma.
In that Inglourious, I think it's in Inglourious Bastards, where he's that table scene where he's basically Jew hunting, and he's sitting there and he's having coffee, whatever. There, he's obviously sinister and evil, but you're like captivated. You're like, I just can't. I don't know.
There's a whole story. Look up that actor's name. There's a whole story about how Quentin Tarantino and one of the other guys, they were saying that movie revolved around that character, and they had not found the perfect actor for that character yet. And Quentin Tarantino had said something like, this movie is just going to have to be scrapped if we can't find this actor. And then he was the next guy that they and he spoke fluently like 6 or 7 languages. So, you know, there's that one scene where he speaks all those languages, and he knows those. He's very fluent in those languages.
As soon as I say his name, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I can't. I don't know why I can't ever remember his name off the top of my head.
I can't either.
He's Christoph Waltz.
Yes,
Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz.
Oh my God, a Thrawn by Christoph Waltz, dude. To recast him, Dave. Just recast him right now. Just recast him right now. Say that there was a wormhole thing and you got shook up too much. Whatever. Recast him. Do you have high hopes in a Mandalorian and Grogu movie? High hopes.
I mean, I'm not going to go to the movie theaters and watch it. For the next week. I've paid for Disney Plus, and I keep paying.
I mean, tell you, dude, I like Mandalorian season 1. You know why I like it? I think I like it because you don't really know who the Mandalorian is, and he is a father figure in the show. And then that wears off. And then it's like, oh, isn't Baby Grogu cute? And I'm just like, no, I don't give a shit about that little Yoda. No, I don't care about that thing. So, I don't know. All right, guys, as we are obligated to do, because we are dads, at the end of the show, every single day, you get a joke. A hilarious joke. Before we get out of our chairs, our bodies crack. But we tell jokes, and you are going to laugh hilariously. It's going to happen. Today's the day.
Today is
Deacon.
It is?
Today is the day. Yes.
I did.
Are you ready, sir?
I am.
Why do you never see elephants hiding in the woods?
I know this one. I don't remember.
Why do you never see elephants hiding in the woods? Because they're so good at it. Yes. No? All right, it's fine. It's fair.
That is pretty good, though. I mean, because that's good. That's good. I like it. So Ashley and I one time were in a museum, and she said, I look like a Greek god. But I was pretty impressed. Her actual words were, "Put your clothes on, you idiot. We're in a museum." I know what she really meant. I was like, "You were a Greek god."
All right. So St. Louis, thanks for subscribing on Kank. If you haven't already, check us out on rumble.com/JJW. You can like, subscribe, follow us, whatever.
I don't even know what Kick is.
I know you don't. I know. And we'll see you later. Bye. Please subscribe. And as always, bye.